Hi, I'm Peggy with Headshots by Peggy, and today I'm going to be joined by Dennis White, and we're going to have a great time. Hey, Dennis, thanks for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
So, first of all, you had the coronavirus. So,
Yes.
how are you feeling? Are you like okay? And for the people that don't know who you are, first, really quick, introduce yourself and tell us what show you're on right now, and then tell us about the coronavirus, and then we'll get back into industry stuff.
Okay. Yeah, I definitely had the coronavirus. So for me, I've been in this business about 20 years. Wow, that seems a long time. I currently I'm on a TV show called The Family Business, which airs on BET, where we've been filming our second season. People know me as D-Rock from the film Notorious, the biopic. On The Brave One with Jodie Foster, Mr. Ray on NBC's Parenthood. I've been on Atlanta. I've been on Law and Order. I've been in a lot of The Closer. I had several episodes on The Closer, recurring on there. And then I have a company called Act Like You Know, where I teach acting workshops as well.
Uh-huh. So, what were you at home when you got sick? Were you like, how long were you in the hospital? Thank God that you're healthy and
Yeah.
you're back alive. But geez,
Well, I was traveling back and forth from LA. We shoot the family business in LA, and I was doing a film in Atlanta. So I was traveling back and forth for like a week before I really got sick. So it was my travel schedule before I got really sick was Wednesday in LA, flew to LA. Saturday flew to Charlotte. Sunday night drove from Charlotte to Atlanta. Tuesday flew to LA to film. Wednesday flew back to Atlanta.
wow.
And so it was just my body was going through it a lot. So I got sick on March the 6th.
Wow. That's before most of us started social distancing. That's
Yeah.
before we started. I know we were talking about it. I know my last headshot client was March 4th, but we didn't take the whole social distancing super serious until like around the
Yeah.
12th. So you got it really early on.
Yeah, I got it before it became rampant and everyone was really concerned about it. Um, and I was sick. I was sick at home for like 8 days, just really going through it. High temperature, body chills, extreme coughing, body pains, no appetite. It was really crazy for about 8 days. And what prompted me to go to the hospital was I had to fly back to LA to film. So I was like, I got to get this check. I got to get work. So let me go back to work. And I went that Friday. It was Friday the 13th. And they kept me. They like, you got double pneumonia. There's no way you can get on a flight. And we had to keep. So they kept me for 8 days. And, at first they said I didn't have it. And they came back and said I did have it. And they confirmed I did have it. So it was real intense in the hospital. It was really intense.
So, what do you have to say to those people that the coronavirus is the flu's worse than the coronavirus, and the coronavirus is no big deal? What would you say to those people?
Wash your hands and wear a mask. Stupid. uh, it's real, I'm not saying that I didn't believe it. I wasn't as adamant about it because, of course, I didn't have it or anything. But there's 35,000 people that have passed away from it. So that's just in America.
Yeah.
So it's a serious situation. And because there's no rhyme and reason about it, there's no age specific, race, or gender specific. It can be transmitted and you don't even have it. So you have to be very careful.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad that you're back with us in the land of the living and you're feeling better.
Oh man, me too.
So that's crazy. Like almost 3 weeks of being sick. So
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So
Um,
I was in the hospital and then I was quarantined as well after I got out of the hospital. So it was about a month overall, pretty much a month overall where I was, really, and I'm still having, some type of residual situations, but it's not as bad. And I got retested last Monday, a week ago, and it came back negative. So I'm COVID-19 free.
Wow. Wow. So, in the midst of all that, you clearly didn't miss any work because Hollywood shut down. There's nothing filming, there's nothing being produced. They still are casting some stuff. Have you been healthy enough? Have you done any self tape auditions? Where are you with that?
I've had some requests for self-tape auditions. Um, I My deadline to submit them hasn't passed yet, so I definitely am going to do that. But this is a good time for up and coming actors and new actors, more than they think, because now a lot of casting directors they have time to kind of sit back and look at and upcoming actors. So if you're an upcoming actor and you want to get seen more, follow these casting directors. A lot of them are having open calls, uh, um, video submissions, whether it's they have scenes or they have monologues. So this is a time to really practice on your self taping skills and also connect with those casting directors.
Exactly. Casting directors are doing like self tape challenges, like, hey, send in a monologue. I mean, I know Merrick and I have watched some live, casting directors that go live on Instagram. We've watched a lot of that. If you don't have representation, now is the perfect time to, get out there and be seen from
Yes.
people that normally wouldn't see you unless you had, an agent or manager. So now's the perfect time. So I know it's tough, but for years I've been telling all my actors, like, get in front of the camera, do self tapes whether you have it or not, get used to being in
Yes.
front of the camera. So now is the time to take advantage of that. And I know all of our hair is shaggy and, we have all these issues, but, everybody looks like that. So it's
Yeah.
just get out and do it.
This is a good time also to solicit to agents as well, because this is typically pilot season time. So during the end of January, pretty much until May, agencies are not taking any new clients at all.
Right.
Because they really want to focus on the ones they have to submit for pilot season. So now they're twiddling their thumbs. They want to be proactive. So this is a great time to solicit some of those talent agencies.
Exactly. Get your reel out, get your resume out, your headshots out, and get out there and communicate. And I think a lot of managers, a lot of agents, a lot of casting directors are on social media, and they are happy right now to talk to people. So this is a once in a lifetime. I mean, this has never ever, been a time like this where you can
Never.
literally go up and say, "Hey, look at me. This is
Yeah,
what I got."
yes, definitely, definitely. The market is open.
So, what have you heard as far as when they start production again? Anything that's going to be different, or what have you heard as far as how the industry is going to be?
That's been something that hasn't really been conveyed to everyone yet. Um, there are some productions that are still filming, um, but I think I don't know. It's a tough situation because we're not really sure when the shutdown is going to be lifted. So I'm pretty sure that once it's lifted, it's going to be like the floodgates are going to open, because Hollywood is losing so much money right now.
Well, and not only that, but everybody has watched everything that's out there. I mean, I have watched more TV in the last 35 days than I have in my probably last 5 years combined. It's ridiculous.
Yes. Yes.
Um, Shows that, like, oh, I know yesterday we were on a Zoom call with some theater friends, and they were recommending movies, and they were movies that we would have never ever watched if we weren't quarantined. So, a lot of things are getting seen, people are watching things. But I really feel like, I feel the exact same way. I think when this is over, be ready. Like the second that it's over, see your hairdresser, get ready to go, because I think it's like on the second that this is lifted.
Definitely. And with how pilot season has kind of morphed into the recasting sessions in August. It's going to be extended. I feel like they're going to be looking for so many actors, and the travesty is if when everything is lifted and you as an actor are not prepared,
Exactly.
because you had plenty of time to prepare, um, working on the reel, working on your audition skills, working on your headshots, your resumes, to get everything together, your ammunition ready for war, and you not be prepared. That would be a travesty.
Exactly. That's exactly how I feel. I was laughing to some friends. I said the second this is lifted, hairdressers are going to be like swamped. They're going to, and then I'm going to be busy because everybody's going to need a new
Yeah,
headshot because
yeah,
either you spent the last 2 3 months eating or you spent the last 3 months working out. Either way, you're going to look different. You're going to need those fresh
yeah.
headshots, and then it's go time. Seriously, I think it's going to be great. So you're filming season 2, right?
Correct.
So you're right in the middle of that. So what do you? I mean, nobody knows, but my guess would be they would start showing on time, and then hopefully just like film and edit and put it up
Yeah, I think that's
kind
what's
of
going to
hardcore.
happen. We're supposed to air in June.
Uh huh.
We air in June. So we I can't remember how many episodes we have left. Um, we have a couple, like maybe three, 3 or 4 at the most to film. So I'm sure that we're going to start filming in between everything, and you know, it's going to be difficult, but I think it's going to be great. I have a movie called "A Love to Die For" that I'm supposed to be co-starring in. We're supposed to shoot in May 1st,
Not gonna
which
happen.
is not happening. So I doubt. So we're probably going to shoot in June. I got a lot of projects that I was supposed to work on that are going to push back. I'm directing the TV series. We're shooting in New Jersey and New York. Um, we're just going to shoot in April. So we're probably going to end up shooting probably like July, August.
Yeah.
So, but the thing about it is not just me. Everything is pushed back.
Everything.
So it's something we all got to deal with, and I doubt that the country is gonna come back and be exactly how it was before.
I think there's no way. I mean, I really think that I think this is our chance to literally make some changes that we've always wanted to see. I think
Yeah.
there's a lot of people that are woke. There's enough
Mm-hmm.
people that want change that are smart enough to take advantage of this and really pick up and get this thing going again. But it's going to be different. There's no way things are going to go back to life as normal as we know.
No, no, no. So I impede everyone to, while you have this downtime, to write, create your own content, um, and so that when there's another wave of a pandemic, you have enough content to submit so people can watch your shows over and over and over and over again. So just, yeah, now it's time to be a creative contributor.
Exactly. And it's time to brush up on your skills. Like, get out there and just, I mean, what are you doing anyway? Like, just do it, you know. Um,
Yeah, it's funny because I've been getting a lot of older students that I worked with coming back and wanting to do private coaching sessions. So I've been coaching the last week, just ramping that up, and really helping my students getting prepared for whatever happens, whatever comes.
and this works. Like, you can coach through Zoom. It's not ideal, but I know a lot of coaches that are doing this. So
Yeah,
I absolutely encourage people to get a hold of a coach, take a class, do Zoom with another friend, work on scenes, do things, and stay creative because I know me personally, when I'm not creative, like if I don't touch the camera for a week or something, I start getting a little edgy and a
Yeah.
little grouchy and like I gotta let that out. And I think most actors are the same way. Let that out. Like memorize a scene and do it. And
Yeah.
so what as an acting coach? Now we talked about you as an actor. As an acting coach, what other advice other than get out there and do it? What do you want people to walk away from today with from you?
Well, to just prepare yourself. Um, Preparation, perseverance, and persistence. Those are the 3 P's that I live by. So prepare yourself so that when you go into an audition, when there is an audition that comes up, you're not like behind the gun. You already know how to self-tape. Because I had issues when I first started self-taping. I would be, somewhere else. I'll be in a different city, and I got a self-tape that's due tomorrow, and I don't have a reader, and I'll finally get a reader, and I'm ready to upload it, and it takes so long for it to download and everything, and I missed the cutoff date. So um, I've learned to practice before if I didn't need it. If I say, okay, I got to audition on a Wednesday, let me make up an audition and have a submission, so I know what to do when I need a reader. There's times when um, I've I have 2 phones, so I have someone a speakerphone and the other phone reading. They're not even in the room with me when I do my self tape.
Yeah.
Or there's times when I take myself as the other reader. I had to MacGyver my audition sometimes, but I have a system of when I do get it done, how to edit it, how to get it there in time, how to make it look great so that it looks professional. And that's something that actors need to practice now. Now there's no pressure on you right now. That's the best way to get better at it.
Exactly, exactly. Merrick and I do a self tape every day. He'll download sides, and then the next day, like we go out. And today, about an hour and a half before we were scheduled to do this, he got an email from his commercial agent that said, "Hey, it's same day. We need it in 3 hours." And
Mm,
I was like, okay, we need to do this now because
yeah.
I'm having a conversation with Dennis in a few minutes. So we, because we do it every day, it was just boom, we did it,
Yeah.
did his
Mm,
audition. I threw it on the computer, uploaded it, and moved my computer down here and turned on the light, and here we are, like
yeah.
nothing. And that's how smooth it should be. Because
Definitely.
if it's not that smooth, then you're freaking out about the technical stuff and
Mm,
where do I put my camera? How do I make this look good? Where do I put my light? You're thinking
yeah.
about all those other things, and you're not able to concentrate on doing your job, and that's to act.
Yes. Yes.
So now's the perfect time to learn how to do all this technical stuff and learn, okay, pretend like, okay, now I've got to edit this, I got to get it uploaded, even if you just upload it to your own Dropbox or something, but get in
Mm,
that habit of knowing what to do with the file and how to do all that. Because
yes.
it takes a minute if you don't know.
It does. It does. I've had, uh, I had, I've had an audition horror story that was great. So I was filming a movie in Nashville, Tennessee, and I had a couple days off. So I went back to Atlanta, and I got an audition for a Tyler Perry TV series. So I'm like, okay, let me do it. When I'm in acting mode, it's hard for me to try and get out that character, but I'm like, let me do it. So I had to have it in by 1 p.m. So I start working on it at like 10 a.m. and the electricity went out.
Oh my God.
So I'm like, did I not pay the bill? I know I paid the bill. So it was out in the whole community. So so I had to, I still had to do it. I did it as well. And it didn't look the way I wanted it to look. I couldn't crop it as well, but I submitted it. And so I was like, I know I didn't get it. Of course, there's no way that I would get a call back. So I'm filming the next week, and a friend of mine is talking about it. And, I'm like, no, I didn't get it. The next day I got a call back, right? I'm like, how? And it wasn't just a regular callback. They flew me from Nashville to LA, put me up in the hotel, gave me per diem, then flew me back to Atlanta.
Oh wow, for your callback.
Yes, just for the callback. And so, I didn't get it, but it was really crazy. It was like one of the auditions where I just like, I'm never going to get a call from this.
Yeah.
And I did. But, I've been working on it long enough to have it look at least decently.
Yeah.
So I've never had a situation where I had no electricity. So it was really crazy.
I actually have a portable light that takes batteries.
Mm-hmm.
I used to have that just because sometimes I do on location stuff and outside. But the average person isn't going to be like, oh, let me just whip out my studio battery pack.
Well, I was lucky enough to where the electricity was on when I was filming.
Oh, good. Okay.
It cut off when I went to go edit it.
Oh, okay. So you had some light and everything. That's good. That's good.
Yeah. So, and it was in the daytime as well. So it wasn't that bad as far as me seeing things. It was just the programs that I used to edit my reel wasn't available. So I had to use iMovie on my phone and
yeah,
MacGyver it.
But I always suggest that people know how to do that. Like for me, I depend on Adobe Premiere. Like I get my sound and put everything up. But every once in a while, I'm like, let me see how like people do things on their phone. So what if we're out and I don't have my computer or something? So we've done that too, just for me to learn how do you do this. And now's the perfect time because there's no crunch. It's not like, oh my God, I got to get this in an hour. So take advantage of this time because that's one thing we all finally have is time.
Oh man, finally. And I talked to a lot of my industry professionals, and some of them, everyone wants to get back to work, but some of them are really cherishing this time because we've been running so much, and just chasing money, chasing careers, chasing work, chasing advancement, to where we haven't had a chance to sit down and enjoy family and really just work on ourselves, and then we go on vacation, we're still partying up. So like this is a time we can really do some self-reflecting and self-improvement.
Well, I know for us, we found out early on that time. Not only are we busy and running everywhere, but once we like kind of made a schedule, like we have a quarantine schedule. Because otherwise, it's like 10 o'clock at night. We're like, did we do anything today?
Yeah.
So we kind of keep a schedule. That way we make sure we do a self tape. That way we make sure we spend time reading, which is something that neither one of us had done much of for a long time.
Yeah.
And things like that, because I think as an actor, the more rounded you are, the more life experience you have, the better actor you are. So, I mean,
so you can relate to the characters.
Yeah.
You want to be able to, I tell people, I don't have to smoke crack to play a crackhead, but there's enough research and stuff out there. And if you know how to research characters, you can go to a methadone clinic and just watch how the reactions to it. You could talk to people, so I try and explore different things that I've never touched so that when I do have opportunity as an actor, I'm not oblivious to the situation.
Exactly. And now you have time to watch documentaries. Now you have time to read books. Now you have time to watch YouTubes. Now you have time to, call up people and talk to them and, ask questions and just develop yourself as a human.
Yes, yes, definitely.
Well, I'm excited to see all the projects that you have upcoming. I know that I post my vlogs on your Facebook group all the time.
Yes.
So I hope that you keep me posted. And once this is all over, next time you're in LA, you can come in and we'll do a live, actual person-to-person vlog and talk about all the exciting things.
Well, I just want to say I really appreciate what you're doing for the acting community. I always loved your energy. I love how you give people a platform to expand and to reach out to other people. And I just, I've always wanted to connect with you and just, and let you know that I really appreciate what you do.
I really appreciate that. I know it's crazy. People ask me, they're like, "So what do you do?" And I'm like, "I'm a headshot photographer." And they're like, "What's your vlog about?" And I'm like, "Well, it started out about headshots. Now it's." But I live with two actors and I work with actors all day, every day, and I hear things and I hear the struggles they go through, and and even Merrick, he's like, when I was starting, I would have given anything to get the information that you're giving people. And that's what I try to, because sometimes people are starting out and they don't know where to look. And, unfortunately, there's some people out there that will take advantage of them financially because of that. And that really irritates Merrick and I both. I'm really big on, when you help people, it grows you. And I think, you're like that. You're like, I got a lot of stuff. Let me help you. And.
Well, that's why I do workshops. That's why I do acting classes and workshops. Classes are cool. I prefer to doing workshops, so I can really get people who are not seasoned and who are just getting into the business, so they won't get bamboozled by other, scam artists in this industry, and to give them the real information, not the information you read strictly for books or, the whitewash and the very clear, just simple, information, but the stuff that helps you be a working actor, because that's all actors want to be, is working.
Exactly. I mean, um, some people come in and they're like, I want to be a star. And I'm like, hey, you really want to be a working actor.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, you want to be that face there. You're like, I think I've seen you on something before.
Yes.
Because that's great when you get to that point where you can, that's your living. That's what you do. You act.
Yes.
And it doesn't come overnight and it doesn't come easy, but there are things you can do to go on that path. And, and so that's
And
exciting.
and with headshots, I tell people that's well, I don't say unfortunately, but that is the most important thing you have as an actor, because that's the first presentation of who you are. So if your headshot doesn't look great, you're not going to get a chance to even perform or use your talent. So that's so very much important, because unfortunately, typecasting is the way of the world. And it's not a negative connotation, it's just an honest connotation. So if your headshot doesn't exhibit who you are or what you represent, or doesn't look like you put any energy or quality into it or any funds into it, then they're not going to think you as a viable commodity, and then they don't want to see you.
Exactly. It's the biggest part of your marketing strategy. You knew I'd get that in sometime, didn't you? Um, but seriously, that's what, if your headshot doesn't get their attention, they're not going to look at your reel. They're not going to look at your resume. They're not going to be, you're not going to be able to show anything else. So you have to have that headshot. And, I pride myself. I feel like I'm very reasonable priced because I love to work. I
Yes.
love to work, and I want to be affordable. I'm not cheap by any means, but I feel like I'm very reasonable for what you're getting, and I want people to come and have a great time and get effective headshots, because a pretty picture doesn't do it. A pretty picture isn't going to get you seen.
No, you're right. You're right.
Thanks for coming on. This was fun, and I'm really
Yeah.
glad you're alive.
Oh, what? Me too. There was a couple of days in the hospital. I wasn't sure it was going to be feasible, but I pulled through, and I had a lot of people, thousands and thousands of people that contacted me and really prayed for me and gave me encouragement. And I'm just happy to be here to talk about the COVID-19 and give insight. I've been talking to people, hit me up about what to do, and I've been giving as much insight as I have to help people to avoid it and to come out of it.
So we originally thought, hey, once you get it, you're immune, but now they're saying you might be able to get it a second time. Does that like horrify you? Have you heard this?
Yeah, you know what? They don't know. They
They
don't
don't
have
know.
a clue. They don't know what's left or what's right. They're just throwing everything out there because, and being honest, they just don't know. So that's why it was imperative for me to get retested, so I knew that I didn't have it. Because a lot of times when the people that they're saying that had it again, they never got retested to see what was out their system.
So they might not have got washed it all the way through their system yet.
Yes, yes. So there's still particles and residue within you. They call it shedding of the virus. So I wanted to make sure that it was out of my system 100%. So now that it is, I'm still going to, if I got out in public, have a mask on, gloves on, and be very cognitive of being careful and safe. I think everyone should do that, whether you have it or not, whether you know you have it or you don't know you have it.
Right.
That's one of the biggest things. There's a lot of asymptomatic people out here that have it, but have no symptoms and are still, giving it to other people.
That's the scary part. I know that when we go to the store, we're like masks and hoods and glasses and
Yeah.
and come home and disinfect everything before we bring it in the house and put it away. And it's like it's like an event to go get groceries. So, and I eat vegetables. I eat raw plant based. So, like I'm, really cautious about because I don't cook my food, so I'm not even cooking anything out. So I'm cleaning everything, and it takes more time to shop and put things away than I've ever spent in my life. But you can't take the risk.
Yeah, it's just not worth it, because it attacks people differently. Some people can be healthy and like there's the Broadway actor who had his leg amputated. Did you hear about that?
No.
Yeah, he perfectly healthy. He caught the coronavirus and he's been in the hospital and they have to amputate his leg because of, it he had a lot of blood clots, while he was laying in the hospital.
Wow.
And so perfectly healthy guy, talented, would never have the chance to use his leg again. So it affects people differently, so I just impede everyone to be careful. They even when they say they're going to lift everything, there's restrictions. Still, be careful.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's a crazy world we live in. But we're going to get through it.
Yeah, we will. We're perseverers.
Well, keep me posted once your movie, does get made and released, and keep in touch and let us know what's going on. And maybe next time you do a workshop, you'll invite me to do a little talk about headshots. And
you know what? You took the thought out of my head. I would love to do a workshop with you.
That would be fun.
Yeah. So let's talk about it and figure out when we can do it once everything is over.
Sounds great. Well, thanks again, and I'll see you soon, healthy and in person.
Most definitely. Thank you for having me.
Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much for joining me today. That was a lot of fun. Please make sure that you subscribe to my YouTube channel, follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and most importantly, stay safe, stay healthy, and stay creative. I'll see you next week.